Hello, my name is Anthony Bolden, and I will be doing my presentation on Voltaire, his life, works, philosophy, and context. Voltaire was born into an upper class family on November 21st, 1694, in Paris, France, and was the youngest of five children. When Voltaire was just 7 years old, his mother passed away. Following her death, he grew closer to his skeptic godfather. He attended taught or he attended a school taught by Jesuits in 1704. Voltaire began showing hope as a writer, getting a three-part learning process, which is a classical education. And at that time, they had a process where you take in facts and learn the main things you need to know. And during the middle years, you learn how to get through arguments and learn. And in high school years, you learn how to demonstrate yourself. Voltaire's main beliefs. Voltaire criticized religious traditions. He didn't necessarily not believe in supreme being, but thought religion should be a matter of observation and not faith. He believed in religious freedom. He was against monarchy, militarism, and slavery. Despite being anti-slavery, Voltaire did believe that races must have different origins, and therefore some have varying intelligence. Pretty much saying that some people are smarter than the others due to race. He was a strong believer in freedom of speech as well as religion and political beliefs. He believed that giving people these rights should be a high priority for a government. Some of his published works, which is like his epic poems, his plays, his historical works, and philosophical works. Some of his epic poems will be like Henriade, which was made or it was written in 1723. And then you also have Oedipus, which is done in 1718, and then Mahomet, which is in 1736. And then he also has just a long list of other works that he's completed. He has a very long resume of great works that's been used throughout generations. So, yeah. Voltaire's influences and legacies. Voltaire is known for being a wisdom writer. He was also known for being a courageous writer who fought tirelessly for civil rights. Voltaire was influenced. I mean, that's also to go back on that. That's another reason why I selected him as an author for my presentation because of his connection and his passion for civil rights and fairness between all people. But to get back on track, Voltaire was influenced by other Enlightenment writers by the debate of old and new genres, which can also just be called a literacy debate. He was also influenced greatly by John Locke and Isaac Newton. He spread Newtonism or Newtonian physics around Europe. Voltaire became known for his use of satire or writing in a witty, sarcastic style. A poem was written about him in 1939, Voltaire at Ferney. His writing will have a big impact on the United States, as many ideas from the current Bill of Rights and Constitution show. Many of his main ideas, such as freedom of speech and freedom of religion, are featured in the Bill of Rights and Constitution. So, I mean, as you guys can see, he had a really huge influence on the United States and just how we run as a country in general. A few fun facts about Voltaire. He became enormously wealthy by exploiting the French lottery. Uh, he, for a short period of time, worked as a spy for the French government. He kept a close correspondence with Frederick the Great in the 1730s and in the 1750s. And then he moved to Prussia to join Frederick's court. And then he left the court in 1753. He wrote prolifically, producing more than 50 plays, dozens of scientific, philosophical, and political treatises, and a few books. He also kept close correspondence, sending over 20,000 letters. He also adopted the nom de plume Voltaire in 1718 after the completion of his first play. He was fluent in English, Spanish, Italian, Latin, and Greek. He's a well-spoken man. I also want to, give you a few quotes of his famous quotes that he may have said. You may recognize a few, but coming from the top or starting at the top, one says, "Yeah, I may disagree with what you have to say, but I shall defend to the death your right to say it." Another one is, "Common sense is not so common." Common sense is not so common. I've heard that before. It is forbidden to kill, therefore all murderers are punished unless they kill in large numbers. And to sound the trumpets. Every man is guilty of all the good he did not do. If God did not exist, it would be necessary to invent him. Those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. It is dangerous to be right in matter on which the established authorities are wrong. The best government is a benevolent tyranny tempered by the occasional assassination. And that pretty much concludes my presentation on the author Voltaire. I hope you enjoy, and I appreciate your time. Thank you, and God bless.